Hello again, and welcome to Writing Sentences 1, where we will be drawing together lots of bits of information. And our story is called It's Your Job. We are combining all those spelling choices for when we write a one chin tap word with a short vowel sound. And another way of doing that as a reminder is to hold your fist like we do when we're saying short vowel sounds. Hold it under your chin and say one. Your chin will tap your hand. When we hear the sound f with our teeth on our bottom lip, we write double F at the end of our one tap word. When we hear ul, we write double L. S, we write double S. Z, we write double Z. K, we write CK. And J, we write DGE. So a lot of things to think about, and that is why it is a slightly longer story than usual. So you may want to consider writing one sentence at a time, or maybe one short paragraph at a time. It's Your Job is our title. What do you think that's got to do with yo-yos? Or even 4 yo-yos? But let's write the title first and we'll find out. Speech marks. It's. An apostrophe because it's short for it is. It's your job. And close the speech marks. If you haven't seen the you, your and our little spelling story video, then perhaps take a look at that to find out a strategy for those 3 words when we're spelling them. Will you be the judge? Asked Jack. Speech marks. Will. And a double L. You owe us. Be. And then we'll write the judge. And judge is a pretty handy word for thinking about j at the beginning of a word, j at the end of a one tap word with a short vowel sound. The judge. And yes, DGE. A lot of letters for one sound. But then we'll add a question mark and speech marks before we write asked Jack. Asked Jack. And the K, we're using CK because of its position in the word. Jan thinks. Y is Y-A-N. Thinks. And we have a full stop because he has a lot to think about. This is what he thinks. It could be fun, but it would be hard to not let all of them be first. I wonder what this is about. Let's write the first bit. It could be. It, capital I. And for could, we will think about, oh, unhappy little duckling. It could be fun. And we can see some fun at the bottom of the page. But it could be fun, but it would be hard. And we have our unhappy little duckling again as a reminder. Oh, unhappy little duckling. Be hard to not let all of them be first. Let's just write not let all. Not let all. And that is a double L, just like will was. All of them be first. Of them, teeth on your tongue, be first. Now, when we think about the sounds in first, we can hear f, st. Can be spelt in 3 different ways. And in this word, it is spelt IR. First. And what do you think is going to remind you to write an I in front of the R? Well, it is that letter I, because it can look a little bit like the number 1 when you're first. Then he adds not just his thoughts, but he says, no, thank you. Speech marks. And no, thank, teeth on your tongue, thank you. And we will close the speech marks. So we can see one of the quads practicing on their yo-yo. Let's start the next paragraph to find out what Jack does. Jack nods and sets off to ask Fizz to judge. Okay, Jack nods. Jack nods and sets off. And sets off. And we have another spelling choice. O and a double F because it's a 1-syllable word. word with a short vowel sound. To ask fizz. And there we have another one. To ask fizz. And that's exactly, apart from the capital, how you would write fizz if there was some in a glass of bubbly drink. To judge the quad's yo-yo tricks. To judge. To judge. And there's our word with j spelt in two different ways. The quad's yo-yo tricks. Quads. Qua at the beginning. Q-U-A. And the tricks belong to the quads. Yo, yo, tricks. As he passes the quads. As, and we just have one S at the end because it was a rule breaker word, but pass. Here we go. We need a double S. Pass. And that sound at the end means we add suffix es. Passes the quads. So let's write that again. The quads. And a comma, because this needs a breath before we carry on. He spots one of them. He spots. One of them. One of. And of is one of our strategy words. It doesn't have a double F. Them with their yo-yo. With their, and we have the THEIR, yo-yo. He yells, "Good job!" He, and then yells, where we use our new letter and think about the ul at the end, a double L. Speech marks, good job. And an exclamation mark before we put the speech marks at the end, because that lets us know how he said it. Fizz said no to. Fizz, we have z at the end. How will we write it? Double Z, because it's a one-tap word with a short vowel sound. No, two. And that two has a double O because we're saying as well as. But she goes on to say a little bit more. Pick just one of our best pals? You must be mad. Oh, speech marks and then pick. And we think about the K at the end, which is CK. Just one of our, ow, is spelt O-U before we add the R, but you may also think about O, us, raisins. You owe us. You must be mad. And I think in that she means crazy. So we have an exclamation mark again, but she carries on. Looks as if it's your job. Looks as if it's your job. It's, and it's short for it is, so we need that apostrophe. And you owe us raisins. She said with a grin. She said with a grin. So Jack has something to think about. What will I do? What? And we can say wh as a spelling language to remind us of that H. Will I do? And this time we need a question mark. He goes to talk to his dad. And go, we're thinking about an action somebody else does. But O is another letter where we would add ES. And that's where the word goes comes from. He goes. To talk about little kittens. To his dad. And we have a comma because this sentence has a little bit of extra detail. Walking quickly in the warm sun. Walking. Walk a little kitten. walking, and quickly will be on the next page. We start with quick. Quick. We think about the qu, but we've also got that k to think about, and then adding our new suffix ly. In the warm sun. And warm and ready, Mum. Warm sun. Who does the best tricks? Asked his dad. So we'll start with who does. And does is another word where we've added suffix es. Who does the best tricks? The best tricks. Question mark, and we close the speech marks. Asked his dad. Ask, and we have suffix ed. His dad. Jack thinks. And then we'll put a comma because there's more to come. Jack thinks. And I think he thinks about what his two friends said. Grins and zooms off. And zooms. Got z at the beginning. So just one Z, zooms off. With 4 cans. With and 4, you could think 4 us raisins. Cans. Now, I haven't said what they were cans of, but you might like to add that bit of information. You are all good, so I have a can for 4 firsts. That was his decision. New paragraph because he's back with everybody in the park. Speech marks. You owe us are all good. And a comma. So I have a can for 4 owe us raisins, if you like. 4 firsts. And we have another chance to think of that I, reminding us first is spelt IR, because they're in first place. Let's clap. Let's. And it's short for let us. So we have an apostrophe. Clap. The slickest. The slickest. Oh, they must have been good tricks. The slickest. And we'll go back to cross the T and dot the I. Quad. We'll give it a capital letter because they've been given a title. Quad. Qua, Q-U-A. Yo-yo squad. Yo-yo. Capitals again. And in the next word, squaw. Q-U-A for that qua. And there, we have finished our story except to see 4 happy faces and their friends clapping because they had such good yo-yo tricks. Let's read over the story. Join in with me if you'd like to. It's your job. Will you be the judge? Asked Jack. Jan thinks. It could be fun, but it would be hard to not let all of them be first. No, thank you. Jack nods and sets off to ask Fizz to judge the quad's yo-yo tricks. As he passes the quads, he spots one of them with their yo-yo. He yells, "Good job!" Fizz said no too. Pick just one of our best pals. You must be mad. Looks as if it's your job, she said with a grin. What will I do? He goes to talk to his dad, walking quickly in the warm sun. Who does the best tricks? Asked his dad. Jack thinks, grins and zooms off with 4 cans. You are all good, so I have a can for 4 firsts. Let's clap the slickest quad yo-yo squad. How did you get on? You might like to take your story to read to somebody else, or go over it again yourself. And I hope you're feeling as happy as the smiling faces that we can see here. Take that round of applause for you. And thank you for joining me.